Alright, so as you can see, my wife has been working on this beautiful garden and that beautiful rose bush. And you recall when we were in Millington, Michigan on a different guest adventure, we purchased this lighthouse. It's a fountain. She wants it to go right there in the garden. But it needs some cleanup and it's going to need some paint. If you want to check when we bought it, it's our video number 22-015. So what we're going to do is work on it, but lo and behold, we got an energy drink. So come along on another guest adventure where everyone is a guest, including me. Alright, before we get started, we got some very important things to take care of first, like through the magic of the internet, we are going to order some Jimmy Johns to be delivered. Alright, there we go. Food is on its way. We're going to set up a workbench to work on the lighthouse. Locked down in place so it doesn't fold up on us. Let's move that together just a little bit. That looks good. It's sturdy. Okay. Trust me, it's sturdy. Let's put a little drop cloth on it. There we go. Next, we want to lock these things down so they don't blow away while we're working on the lighthouse, or worse, fly into it so it ruins my paint. You guys don't like to release. There we go. These little guys come in handy when you're working on model trains. Hence the reason why I have them. Alright. Alright, there we go. Let's go get the lighthouse and we'll get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is wash the lighthouse. So full disclosure, since we here at Guest Adventures want everybody to have the adventure with us, I made a nice bucket of simple green hot water. And I left it downstairs in the laundry bucket after I poured the water in it until I needed it, which was fine. Until in all my wisdom I decided to start a load of laundry in the meantime. So when I went down to get the bucket, I had an empty bucket but half washed clothes, so take the good with the bad. So I made a new bucket and we're going to try to clean this up just a little bit. And I'll tell you what the plan's going to be first. We want to keep the rocks gray. Going to keep the lighthouse black. You can't see, but there are some windows here that are just painted black. We're going to highlight the frames white. And then I'm going to highlight these wires here, at least these round ones. I don't know yet about the ones up here on the light, but these are going to be yellow. Then we're going to put some highlights in the rocks. If you see, it's gray, but it's still got some black. But what we're going to do to experiment with it is this panel where the wires come in and out and the pump is located comes out. So we're going to paint this first. We'll paint it gray and then we'll add our highlights to see how it looks. So let's get started washing this thing. Nice hot bucket and a brand new sponge. It's a nice day in Michigan. Got a little bit of a breeze, so I'm sure these parts will dry rather quickly. Just set that one down. See how many times I can step on it while we're working on this. And as I said, we're just gonna end up giving the whole thing a quick wash. And so while I finish that up, you guys can go replenish your energy drinks, and I'll be back in a little bit. Got some nice flowers growing in the back too. The next phase, what we're going to do here is we're going to spray it with the hose, clean it off a little bit more. Let's do that now. Get it all nice and clean. Oh, through the magic of the internet, I hear my Jimmy John's arriving. So what we're going to do is finish washing this, take a quick lunch while this dries, and then we'll get back to the painting. Oh yes, Jimmy John's. Left right by the side door, just like I asked. Time for lunch. Alright, so we finished our Jimmy John's, and we got paint. We got the Ultra Cover Gloss Clear for when we're done, to give it a coat. We went to the Dollar Tree, bought the paint, which should really be called the $1.25 tree now. That's another story. Put it in the trash pocket there. So we got to mix and match paints here. We got some black paint. We got a couple of the grays because they look small. You know, you can never have enough gray paint. We got your yellow. We got brown. And we got just a little bit of white. And as we said, we're going to try this little piece first, painting it with gray and then highlighting it with some black, and black mixed with some gray. And I managed not to step on it while I was doing the rest of it, so that was a bonus. So let's get a paintbrush and some other materials and we'll get started. Alright, we got our paint palette here. If you need some of these, you can get them in bulk at like Costco, Sam's Club, grocery stores. They're great little paint pellets. They come in like 1,000 pack, and then you can use them for other things like meals and that kind of stuff. We're going to anchor it down here. So it won't blow away on us. And we're going to use the gray paint. I notice this is a metallic acrylic paint, and we're going to add just a little bit of black to it to give it a little darker color. And then again, we're going to paint this first to see what it's going to look like. Okay, we also have a little popsicle stick to stir the paintbrush, and I double locked the expensive palette so it wouldn't blow away, because you know that would not be good. Alright, so the first thing to note is that the paint has a protective seal in here. And wants to come out right away. So let's just put a little dab down there. Put that back on. Let's see if this one has a little protection. Apparently it does. not quite the same as the other one. Weird. Let's just do this. Got the paint on me already. That's good. Mix that up here. So it's a little less silvery. Alright, we're going to give this a try. Let's close that up before we have a big disaster. Kind of like the early disaster with the wash bucket. Alright, let's give this a try, see what happens here. You can see that. Looks good with the little bit of black in it. We may still highlight it a little bit later. Remember, this is what the mountain is, part of the stone, I guess, around the bottom of the lighthouse. So we want that silver, and we'll add some just plain highlights to it later. The top there. I think that looks pretty good. We're going to go off camera for a moment and check with the local supervisor, see what she thinks before we proceed. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I see a little tiny piece here that needs a little touch-up. Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right, we'll see what she thinks. All right, before we paint the rocks, we're going to make a little bit more of the paint that we're going to use. It's like a ketchup bottle that won't work. All right. A little black. Not too much of the black. Our fancy stir. I think we're going to put just a little bit more gray in there. Oh, that's better. All mixed up here. And get started here. The front here so you can see it. I don't think you're going to want to wash and paint the entire thing. But you get a chance to see what it's going to look like before we add some highlights to it. Looks like they've got a little, looks like pink almost, like a very dark pink underneath it is the highlight, but I think we'll forego pink. Alright, and you can see the difference between unpainted and the painted so far. Dab it a little bit to get in the little crevices so it looked like real rock. Alright, so I'm going to finish painting that, and we'll come back with the next phase. Okay, we got the coat on the base layer, and I've gotten rid of the lavalier microphone because I seem to be having nothing but trouble with that today. So we're going with the regular microphone that is on the GoPro. That's the coat with just simply the gray paint and the mixture of a little bit of black. And these, I don't know if you can really see them, but right here and right here are the window frames that we're going to paint white once we're done painting. The next step is we're going to paint the black on the top and on the tower itself. Before we add any highlights, we're going to let that gray dry a little bit, and then we're going to put some highlights on it. So let me get a coat of black paint. I'm sure you've seen people paint before. Just remember what I did with the gray paint, but it'll be black paint, and then we'll be back shortly. Okay, so a little update. We've painted the tower now flat black. Gonna go get some gloss black though, so it's still a little wet in spots. The spots that are wet are glossy, but it then dries the flat black. And then I've added a few just basic black highlights onto the rock. You know, like a little bit there, a little bit there. I use basically a dry brushing method on that. You just simply put some paint on the brush most of the paint off, and then you just, here, let me show you. You take some paint, get most of the paint off the brush, and then you just kind of swipe it. And you see, it gives a little black highlight. And of course, when that dries, it'll be harder to see. It won't be like paint, it'll be just like highlights. And I think we're going to add some brown highlights on that as well. Alright, so we're going to head off to a hardware store and see if we can get some gloss black paint. And I'll put another coat on. I put 2 coats of the flat black on. So I did buy a, this is a Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch premium latex paint, but it's a gloss black, so we'll paint it that. And then lo and behold, they had some hobby paints there. So I bought paint pen. I bought a yellow paint pen to do the yellow striping, and to do the windows, I bought a white paint pen. And lo and behold, you know, those will be good for working on model trains when we're done. So that's a fortunate side to that. So, who doesn't love a train? All right. Oops. So we have a coat of the gloss black on. And I think it looks better. A little shinier. So we're going to let that dry for a moment, and then we're going to start doing the railing there and the windows there and down there. And then we'll possibly add a few more highlights, and then I think we're good to go. Okay, so here's a further update. We now have the white on the frame of the 2 windows and the yellow around the lighthouse, or the light part of the lighthouse. That's it for today. So we will see tomorrow. We will pick it up from there. All right. The truth of the matter is, it's been weeks since I started this project. It sat in the garage after I painted the yellow, the black, the gray, and then I highlighted some of the black. So I did a little light painting with brown, just some of the dry brushing. And then I just covered the entire piece, let's call it that, with clear coat, and a very gloss clear coat. So hopefully this is what it needed, and everything will be perfect, and it'll go in the garden. And the pump does work. The only other thing we said was we got to figure out how to clean the glass. The problem is it does not come apart, so I have no idea how we're really going to be able to clean that somebody else had painted it at one point, and that's what all this is. But you know, I'm pointing that out that I didn't do that. All right, so that is the ending of the Lighthouse video. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you again for watching my channel. Appreciate it if you would subscribe, and it would help me out tremendously. And thanks again. I'll see you on the next video. And there is the final place for that lighthouse, all painted. And thus ends the journey of painting of the lighthouse. Hope you enjoyed it. I ask that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an upload. Hit that little bell icon. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on another video.